What if animation didn't just tell a story, but conducted one? What if color could sing and music could shape worlds? Today, we step into Walt Disney's most daring experiment. A film with no rules, no boundaries, and no true love's kiss or a blue fairy to save it. Welcome to Fantasia. By 1940, Walt Disney had conquered fairy tales. But he wanted something bigger, something that proved animation could be art. He imagined a film where musicians, animators, and sound itself worked in harmony. A movie you didn't just watch, but felt. And with conductor Leopold Stokowski and the Philadelphia Orchestra by his side, Walt began the most ambitious experiment in animation history. Fantasia wasn't built like a movie. It was built like a symphony. 8 classical pieces, 8 worlds, 8 chances to reinvent what animation could do. To make sound visible, Disney's team created Fantasound, a revolutionary stereo system decades ahead of its time. Theaters had to be rewired just to show it. Animators studied every beat of the music, the rise of the violin, the crash of a cymbal, the hush between notes. Every stroke of paint matched a sound. Every burst of color matched a phrase. And then came the sequences, each more audacious than the last. The rite of spring, earth before life, violent, volcanic, primal. Animators used scientific research to build a prehistoric world long before CGI made it possible. The Nutcracker Suite, Nut Christmas, the dancing fairies, flowers and mushrooms. A ballet performed by nature itself. The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Mickey Mouse in his most iconic role, a dreamer whose imagination outran his ability. The Pastoral Symphony. Centaurs, Pegasus, gods and goddesses, mythological world drawn with pastel elegance. The Whale Ballet, Night on Bald Mountain, and Ave Maria, Angels and Demons, Nightmares and Prayers, literal visions made from music. Each segment pushed technique further. Airbrush glows, multi-layer water, backlit wings, transparent spirits. This was animation treated like painting and poetry. Fantasia wasn't just a film. It was a question. What can animation become if we stop trying to make it behave? Artists said it felt like stepping into a dream. There was no scripts, only music, only imagination. Night on Bald Mountain became one of Disney's darkest works, a demon towering over a village at midnight. Ave Maria followed, with one of the studio's most serene moments. Light rising through stained glass toward dawn. The contrast wasn't accidental. Walt wanted to show the full spectrum of human emotion without a single word spoken. But there was a problem. Fantasia was too ambitious, too expensive, and after the outbreak of World War II, too impossible to distribute globally. Most theaters refused to install Fantasound. Audiences weren't ready for a film without a traditional story. And critics were divided, some calling it genius, others calling it self-indulgent. Fantasia didn't just lose money, it nearly bankrupted Disney a second time. but Walt believed it was worth it. He said he'd rather fail trying something new than succeeding by repeating himself. And slowly, through re-releases, TV airings, and home video, Fantasia found its audience. A generation of artists, filmmakers, and musicians discovered its magic. Fantasia changed everything. It proved animation could be abstract, emotional, experimental. It inspired entire careers from musicians who visualized sound differently, to animators who realized they weren't just drawing characters, they were conducting feelings. Even today, Fantasia echoes in music videos, CGI effects, abstract animation, and in Disney's own fireworks shows at the parks. Color, dancing to music. Because Fantasia wasn't a movie, it was a leap of faith. Fantasia reminds us that art isn't always meant to follow rules. Sometimes it's meant to break them, beautifully. It taught Disney that imagination isn't something you control, it's something you follow. And next time on Mousketeer Moment, we'll step behind Dumbo, the little film that carried Disney through the darkest chapter of its history. If you enjoyed this journey into Fantasia, hit like, subscribe, and keep exploring, because there's always more magic in the notes behind the lines. Thank you. Bye.